Don't know who that was. We've been joined by Joan Sims. Good morning to you, Joan. I won't insult you by reading it. It says you shot to fame in Carry On films, but you're famous for more than just that. Joan's in 2 TV series at the moment, for instance. Last night you could have seen her in Farrington, and she's in the new Jimmy Cricket comedy series, And There's More, which starts this Friday.
When I met you, I was courting a young policeman.
I never knew that.
Never knew what?
That you was caught in a young policeman.
Who told you?
You did.
Oh! Walked out on me.
Jilted you?
Just left me.
Some people have no consideration for others.
14 stone, cauliflower ear, broken nose. 15 stone.
Perhaps that's why he left you.
You get all the glamour roles, don't you, Joan?
I really do, yes.
Oh, well, good to see you, anyway.
Thank you.
We were talking to Christopher on your right here a bit earlier on, and in fact, like Christopher, you two had a far from theatrical background, didn't you?
Oh, yes. My father was a station master, and I had sort of no theatrical relations at all. And I suppose, really, it all started maybe with being a station master's daughter, because we lived in a station house, and so we had no neighbours. And I really had a built-in audience, as you might say, because I had the passengers, you see. Because I was always dressing up and appearing in various guises, much to the embarrassment of my father. I mean, I do recall once getting an eider down and draping it round me and sitting on one of the station seats, you know, and entertaining the passengers. So it really was there right from the beginning.
Marvellous. So there are commuters at some lonely outpost of Britain who still remember this tiny Shirley
From
Thompson.
Langdon Station.
Langdon Station.
They will remember it in Essex.
Not been axed, has it?
What?
Has Langdon Station
I
been
think
axed?
it has. Its nearest point now is Basildon.
Nothing to do with you, was it?
Well, it might have been.
That station's got to go.
Yeah.
Joan, let's just leap on ahead of it, because obviously the whole of Britain and most of Europe know you and love you for all those roles of the Carry On series. We've got 1 or 2 bits of incriminating pictorial evidence. Now, this is you in Carry On Constable. There you are.
Oh, God. I had a waist then.
And there we are. I think that's Carry On Matron there, leaning over.
With Arthur Hayes.
That's Arthur, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a funny man.
He was
Lovely.
a funny man.
Yeah.
And now Carry On, Don't Lose Your Head here.
Madame Desiree, yes.
Madame Desiree. And Carry On Henry?
Henry. Oh,
With
yes.
the great Sid.
Yes.
The great
Yes.
Sid. Carry On England? There we go. Patrick Moore there, isn't it?
That's
And
right.
Carry On Girls.
That's right.
Now, Joan, we had a lot of the Carry On team on the sofa recently, and they all refer to this incredible family team atmosphere that was built up during those...
Well, it was. We were like kids at school. I mean, it was just, there was a fantastic atmosphere. I mean, everybody got on with everybody else. There was no sort of, star quality bit. There was nobody with a big head. It was just a jolly good team show. And we worked jolly hard because, I mean, we used to have half an hour, what they call rushes a day. And that's going some. I mean,
An hour?
half an hour.
That is going some.
That really is.
And if you wanted to go and watch rushes, you knew that you had to miss half your lunch hour, because we'd break for an hour for lunch, you see.
It was all pretty much shoestring stuff, wasn't it, in those days?
Oh, yes. I mean, I think the first Carry On was made for about 72,000, I think the budget was.
So, I mean, despite the fact that we always used to see you supposedly in exotic locations, this was not the case then?
Not at all, dear. It was the back lot at Pinewood, or it was Black Park. And I do remember on one occasion when we were doing Carry On Abroad, and there we all were in bathing costumes, and believe you me, dear, it was being made, I think, something like April time or something like that. And we were all in these summer clothes, and the propsmen were having to hold down the palm trees to stop them blowing over. It was a force-9 gale. And the lighting cameraman came up to the director, Gerald Thomas, and he said, Jerry, he said, we're going to have to stick Joan under an arc lamp, because he said, I can't do this close-up on her, because he said, her nose is blue. And you're all going, and he's saying, think, son, dear, think, son. And you're going...
Marvellous. There was that marvellous scene which the whole nation followed with some interest, some of it naughty, when Barbara Windsor had to finally expose herself, didn't she? tell us about that, because the temperature was something else, wasn't it?
That's right. That we actually, I think, did at the end of September, beginning of November, and by which time there were no trees. There were no, not trees, no leaves on the trees. All the grass was mud, and we honestly were up to here in mud. It was dreadful, and it was, again, freezing cold. And, I mean, in the end, they had to spray the mud green to make it look like grass.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And, I mean, it was just awful. But, you know, because, as I say, we were a tremendous team and all great buddies, and we were a lot younger.
Well, I tell you what,
a lot more resilient.
I tell you what, Joan, it's great to see you, but Giles Brandreth, I think, was finding it a real privilege, because you're a great carry-on fan, aren't you, Giles?
I am, well, I love to think fun. I love to be in the presence of true talent and also happy people. We've got here in Joan Sims and Christopher Biggins, genius, coupled with gorgeous grins and laughter. What more could you ask for?
Giles.
Money. Money. The set is complete. Good morning.
It takes a lot of guts, don't you find? For somebody to come up and say, thank you so much, Miss Sims, you've given me so much pleasure, and you have.
Yes.
I can do it now because it's just the six of us, but it's difficult to do.
Yes.
But
Hello again. Gordon Thompson, Merrill Thomas, Christopher Biggins, and Joan Sims are our guests this morning. Joan, you're such a delightful lady. It's really smashing to meet you after seeing in all those films over the years. But I was a little bit surprised to hear you said in the past that you used to be terribly shy and very nervous as an actress when you first started.
I don't think I've ever been shy as an actress. I'm very shy as a person. I still am. I'm terrified here this morning. And all these real people. Well, yes. I mean, being an actress or being an actor or whatever you choose to call us, there is something unreal, isn't there, about it? Be honest.
Yes, there is.
Be honest.
You must be mad.
We're all playing parts. Now, I find this, quite honestly, one of the most frightening experiences to come on a chat show. I mean, I normally won't do it. This is about my second attempt. And
But you're enjoying it greatly.
I'm starting to relax now. Yes, I really am. Sophie and numbers. Yes, it does.
But
yes.
how about when you first got your big break? Can you remember your first professional job? How did you feel going on stage that first time?
Well, I was pretty scared. I mean, I'd just left drama school, and I went to a place called Chorlton Comarby, just outside Manchester. And in the fourth week, I was given my first lead in a play. And I remember the play vividly. It was called Sarah Simple, and it was an enormous part. And I didn't think I was ever going to make it, because, I mean, I'd been given term time at Brada or wherever it was, you know, to learn a part. And suddenly, with being in the profession, as it were, for 4 weeks, there I had a lead to play, and I don't quite know to this day how I got through it. I mean, I was practically suicidal, and I do mean that. But I always remember the director's wife, to be very brief about this, suddenly realized, one of the actors saw me, and I'd been in tears all night. I literally couldn't sleep, and I was so frightened. And he told the director's wife, and she took me under her wing, and she said, come and have lunch with me on Sunday. Guarantee you will know the play on Monday. And I have never forgotten that act of kindness, because she restored my confidence, went through my words, and I was okay. I was well perfect on Monday.
Is it the ultimate fear to just forget it all?
Oh, it's terrifying. And the nerves get worse. They don't get better.
was that weekly reps?
Yes, that was weekly rest.
God.
Have you...
Nightmare. Oh, yes.
What's your name again?
Dora Bryan.
Now, I know that you're both very self-sufficient people, and earlier on in the programme, Christopher actually was talking about his great love of cookery and the old space age all act.
Joan, you're a very busy lady at the moment, on telly lots, and you're doing a new children's thing, aren't you?
Yes, I'm at the moment rehearsing for Simon and the Witch, which is BBC children's television, playing Lady Fox Custard from Hall to Hall.
Lady Fox.
Need I say more?
And you're terribly nervous.
Not about that, she's not. No.
If being nervous means looking like you, then I think we're all doing very well. It's absolutely delightful to meet you.
Thank you.
Christopher, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane.
And Gordon and Merrill. And we look forward to your next glamorous outing. Do you know where you're off to next?
Yes, Henley. And then the Berkeley Square Ball.
It's a tough life, isn't it?
Next time you see us, we will be... I mean, it's going to be... I'm serious, because how can you enjoy a ball if you have to leave in time to go to sleep, to get up in the morning, to look like a person at 7:30.
But it's still wonderful being a star, isn't it? It's wonderful to be a star.
That word is such an uncomfortable... That makes me uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't know being a star. We shall find out now, officially from David, what the weather will be like for your future social engagements. David.
Well, what you're